My first camera was a pink Barbie camera I got when I was 4. I'm obviously a photographer, but I like to show up as a bonus bridesmaid, a hype girl, also a leader as well. My professor told me I needed to get a real degree because my business will crash and burn.
You know, dyslexia is your superpower. Type A and very organized. You were pushed to be that way.
Oh my goodness, Kelly and Marcus, they were struggling. Do we reschedule? Do we not? So many guests couldn't make it because it was too icy, but all of her vendors were on board and we're like, let's get you married today. Let's just do it. Okay, we're going outside. It's 17 degrees. Are you okay with that? It turned out amazing. Photography becomes more valuable over time. They're not just photos. That's a part of their family history now and their legacy that they're leaving for their kids. Networking is so important. Going to all of these networking events, it's a good chance for us to get to know other vendors, also push each other creatively as well and push those boundaries. That only brings a better client experience.
Behind every beautiful wedding is a story worth preserving. Hi, I'm your host, Andrea, founder of the nation's premier bouquet preservation studio. Through building that company, I've had a front row seat to thousands of weddings and the incredible professionals behind them. On Bridal Club, I bring you conversations with the experts shaping today's weddings. It's for couples planning their perfect day and the pros who make it happen. Welcome to the club, to Bridal Club.
Welcome back to another episode of Bridal Club. I'm going to take you back to my high school years for a second. When I moved here in the middle of high school, honestly, it was one of the worst experiences because, first of all, I did know English, but I didn't really speak it all that well. And the slang was just so different that I really didn't understand anybody around me. I kid you not, networking can be a very similar experience because you feel like you're going in a room and you just don't know anybody. And I remember when I was in high school, when I moved here, I was just so nervous to meet people because, again, English was obviously not my first language. And I made a friend. She was beautiful, blonde, blue eyes. We became pretty good friends on the spot at that class. And she walked me down with her friends. She was going to introduce me to everybody during lunch, which obviously is the most nerve-wracking part of being in high school, especially where you knew. She introduced me to all her friends. And as she started seeing her friends that she hadn't seen during the summer, she was getting all excited. I found myself very awkwardly standing by myself and not knowing what to do because, again, she was so gracious to me. However, she was in the moment of saying hi to everybody else. That's how networking can be. Last year, my first networking event for WIPA, I was already on the board. However, we were told to not sit with the rest of the WIPA board because we wanted to make sure that we were welcoming people. Now, I only knew a few people, and again, we were just separated. So it took me back to the high school memory of absolutely hating that first day of school. Thankfully, this time we were actually sitting at a table, and right next to me, there was Randy, who has been on the podcast. There was another beautiful blonde, blue-eyed girl, and she was so welcoming to me. The very next day, I went to my friend's nail salon in Rockwall, and I actually happened to be right next to Randy and her best friend, Hannah. Oh my gosh, I just don't know where I would be because of her being so welcoming to me, invited me to different networking events, dinners, being so precious, not only to me, but for everybody else. And I just don't know that she knows this, by the way, but I am just so happy that she's on the podcast. She's extremely talented, and it was a no-brainer to have her on the podcast. With all that being said, say hi to Hannah Way.
Oh my goodness. What an intro, Andrea. Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm a huge fan. I'm so proud of you as well. You were killing it in every aspect of life.
Oh my gosh.
But thank you so much. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, but it's so true. Seriously, thank you so much for inviting me to all these places as if we were friends for a very long time and in just introducing me and being so welcoming and inviting. I will never forget this. And I want to show up for people the way you have showed up for me. And I just really thank you for being so inspiring.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Yeah. Absolutely. I kind of had the same feeling in high school. Like I spoke English, but it's still like that outsider you feel. And I've kind of felt that my whole life. So I totally understand like when you feel on the outskirts and you're uncomfortable and you don't know anybody and you don't know who to talk to or who to avoid and stuff like that. So I totally understand. So I never want anyone to feel that way, the way that I did and that you did in high school. So I think the more the merrier.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, it talks very highly of who you are. And so if you show up to strangers like that, I can only imagine how you show up for your actual clients. So before we actually dive in on that specifically, I really want you to take us back to where your journey started.
Oh my goodness. Journey is the correct word because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been a journey. My first camera was a pink Barbie camera I got when I was 4. I've always loved taking photos, and I would go to church camp and take photos of trees, water, just little details. And I come back and my mom's, where are the people? And I never shot people before because I always actually wanted to be a National Geographic photographer.
Really?
Yes. Like I love shooting landscapes. I still do to this day.
Oh, wow.
It's my little joy and I have them
Yeah.
in my house. That was like my dream job for a while. And then going into high school, one of my girlfriends, she came up to me and she's like, hey, I want to try to be a model. Can you take my headshots? And I've never photographed a person before. So naturally I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so I took her photos and then everyone just kind of started asking me to take their families, their seniors, whatever it may be. And so I started my photography business when I was 16 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And because I was a minor, my dad actually owned Hanaway Photography.
Ah.
And it wasn't until I became of legal age to own a business.
Oh my God.
I bought my business for $1 from my dad.
I love
And that's kind of like how it was born. And then one of my seniors' sisters saw his photos and was like, I want you to shoot my wedding.
Wow.
And I was freaking out. I was 17.
Oh my
like I've never
gosh.
even been to a wedding before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, photograph it. So I was asking the photographers in my community, hey, can I just follow you along? I'll carry your bag, just see how a wedding works.
Smart.
Yes, right? I thought so. But they said no.
Oh.
Yes, yeah. So I just had to figure it out. And it was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And I brought my dad. He was my assistant. And just to make
Aw.
sure everything goes okay. My mom was let her lead. And he did a good job. He was there for me. But I remember coming home from that wedding and just thinking, I'm never doing this again.
Oh my God. I didn't see that coming. I thought you were going to say it was the best day ever.
No, it was a
What?
lot. It was a lot. And then I get a call for a destination wedding in South Padre. And I took it. And so me and my parents pack up the car. I wasn't old enough to rent a car, so parents had to
Wow.
come. So we just made it a little family vacay
Yeah.
as I'm shooting this wedding. And then I go off to school, I go off to college, and I hated it, honestly. I've never been good at school. It's always been hard for me. It was horrible.
Really? And I'm very
Yes.
surprised because when I send you questions, you answer them thoroughly. Nobody answers them like this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very type A and I really like to be prepared as much as possible. So I really want to take my time in answering things. I don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
That's just never been a part of me. So I always like to get it done as much as I possibly can. But school is hard. I'm dyslexic. So learning in
Okay.
general is
Yeah.
just very difficult.
Yeah. My husband is too, so no wonder why you hate it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it became worse when my professor told me I needed to get a real degree because my business will crash and burn. And verbatim. And so I called my dad and I'm like, I'm wasting my time. What am I doing here?
Oh my
I already
God.
have a business. Like
A professor said
a professor
that to you?
told me that. Yes. I wish I could remember his name because I would just be like, hey,
Yeah. Hey, LinkedIn. Hey,
Yeah.
look at me now. Yeah.
yeah. But that almost motivated me a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually transferred schools because I was just done with that school. Because of my dyslexia, I wasn't allowed to take more than 18 hours. But I was just like, how do I get this done as fast as possible? You go to day and night school. So I was going to day and night school full time. I got my associate's degree in a year and that's it. And I went full time ever since.
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love your story. Dyslexia is your superpower because the reason that why you are type A and very organized and is because you were pushed to be that way, which is crazy. Yeah. You just have to basically work harder than the rest of us to make sure that people knew that you were at the same level. And that was just ingrained on you when you were a little kid.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
You.
Okay. So I want to talk to you about the bride being able to be present, what that really actually means.
When a bride is present on her wedding day, I always tell her, I'm like, every moment, try to just pause, take a breath, and soak that moment in. Because it already goes by so fast.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you're worried about if the florist is here, if a family member's late, if you're just worried about all these little things, you're not going to be in that moment. Therefore, you're not going to be present for your own wedding day. And that's sad and you're not going to remember it. It's you're just going to remember being stressed and it's going to go by so fast and that's it. So I think it's so important for brides to be present on their wedding day. And I think that's also trusting your vendor team and who you hired.
Definitely.
You got to trust them. It's in their hands. We're going to take really good care of you because then you allow yourself to be fully present for your entire wedding day. And that's the best thing you can do for yourself and your spouse.
I want to talk to you about your approach, obviously photographing a wedding. I mean, we spoke about who you are as a person. Again, with strangers like myself. How do you think people see you when you're photographing their wedding, and what kind of best friend do they have that day? Who are they relying on?
Yes. So yes, I'm obviously a photographer, but I think of myself as a bonus bridesmaid almost. I am your number one hype girl. If I notice my bride is maybe she's stressed, she's sad, something's going on, I will put that upon myself to change that mood or change that energy, because you got to protect that, especially on her wedding day. And so I like to show up as a bonus bridesmaid, a hype girl, or also a leader as well. You got to know when to command the room, command the people, but also you got to be a fly on the wall as well and let just moments happen naturally.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like a lot of people are friends with you after their wedding just because of the type of energy that you bring. And as you said, you're basically another friend. And I mean, you can tell how she dresses, super professional. She always has the best makeup done as well. I mean, she takes her job very seriously and she's there basically being your supportive system, you know, that you don't think you need until you need it. And that's why, as you said, like the bride and grooms too, obviously they can be taken away from the special moments and taking it all in and really living that day, because their vendor team may not be as supportive as they should, you know? So that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I love it too, because I gained friends after this. So many of my couples were friends. Like we go out to eat, like we stay in contact, like they're having babies now. So I'll shoot their maternity, their newborn. Yes. And I get to watch them become mom and dad. And that's amazing.
That's
so
awesome.
I love the friendship, because then you're comfortable. Like we're comfortable with each other, and it makes the photos honestly turn out way better.
Yeah.
Because if you're uncomfortable in front of the camera, that's noticeable.
Yes.
And you always go back to like how you felt. It doesn't matter how perfect the sunlight is, how beautiful you looked. But if you feel a certain way, if you feel uncomfortable or awkward, that's going to show, and you're probably going to hate that photo.
Yeah.
So I think, it's so important to build that relationship.
So speaking of, I bet most people are probably like, oh my gosh, I'm really awkward in front of the camera. What would you do or say to them to make sure that doesn't happen and it's not going to translate to the photos?
For sure. That's so common. I feel like everyone feels awkward in front of the camera and they're like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
But I try to prepare them as much as possible. I'll send them like what to wear guides, tips and tricks. So that way they already feel like they're prepared for the session and they're not stressing about it, because they already know somewhat how it's going to flow. And then on the engagement session, I think that's why engagement sessions are so important. Like that's the first time we're really meeting in person. And that way I'm not just some stranger bossing you around on your wedding day. Like, we are starting to build that relationship, and it's kind of like a first date. We're seeing how it's going. I'm asking them questions. How did he propose? Or where is your favorite place to eat? Because then I'll encourage them to go on a date afterwards.
Yeah.
But asking those questions, I'm trying to frame their minds back into focusing on each other and their connection versus the stress of the photo shoot of what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like preparing them and educating them and making sure they feel safe and comfortable even before the camera comes up.
Okay.
And then right before I do anything, I always tell them, I'm like, okay, y'all don't have to worry about a thing. I'm going to pose you down to your fingertips. Y'all just relax and have fun and enjoy each other. And you could just see them, you just see them melt. And they look at each other like, okay, good, because we're really awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I got you. I'm never going to leave you all in the dark. And then the second thing that I ask is, my bride, do you have a good side? What's your good side? Because us women.
I love that you asked that so much. Yes,
Absolutely.
we do.
Everyone has their side. Like, you know it.
Yeah.
And if I accidentally put her on the wrong side, she's going to feel uncomfortable because she's not used to being on that side.
Yeah.
And two, she's probably going to
not
like the photos because that's not her side. So
I love that
I think
so
like
much.
just asking those things and preparing them shows my clients I really do care about your photos just as much as you do, if not more.
Yeah.
So making them feel comfortable. And then we started out by walking, because that's a natural thing that we all do.
Interesting.
Yes. So it's something everyone does every day. So you can just naturally do it. And I'm like, just ignore me. Y'all are on the best walk of your lives, looking at each other, having fun. So that way they're not just stiff. No, y'all are holding hands and you're just walking towards me.
Okay.
Then I feel like a lot of it has to do with my tone as well whenever I'm
Yes.
directing them. So I'll just be like, okay, y'all look at me. Okay, John, go ahead and softly kiss her temple. Perfect. Emily, you're going to be giggling at me. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, John, giggle at that temple. And so I'm going up
Yeah.
in my voice. And so that's almost making them laugh. So now I'm getting genuine emotion, but then I bring it back down. I'm like, okay, John, go ahead and softly kiss her temple. Perfect. Emily, go ahead and close those eyes.
Oh
Nice,
my
soft,
gosh,
closed lid.
Hannah.
And so it changes the whole dynamic. So
Yeah.
now they're like, oh, whoa. And then I'll like maybe bring it back up to get some giggles. I feel like your shift of tone can really change the entire mood of
Wow.
the engagement session.
Yeah.
So then I show them the back of the camera kind of early on just so they can see, because they're like, how are we doing? And they look at themselves and they're like, oh my gosh, like that's us. They get so excited. They're like, no way, we look like that. I'm like, yes, y'all are professional models. I got you. And I do try to encourage my couples always behind the camera, because as soon as I go silent, they immediately think they're awkward or immediately think they're doing something wrong, and they're going to go back into their shell.
Yes.
So that's where I'm like, that's where they first see Hannah hype. Is like,
Yeah, that is like
I
your
am-
signature. Because honestly, I mean, we've had a lot of photographers
No,
on the podcast, and
yeah.
they haven't really said that. That's amazing.
You have to. I feel like it's a make or break.
Oh my gosh,
For
yeah.
sure.
I mean, I
you
have
got to
seen
constantly talk.
I have seen some of your BTS videos, and I actually love seeing you working, by the way. And
thank you.
I mean, again, always super well dressed
Thank
and
you.
put together, always. You look like you're having a blast.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's awesome that
It
you enjoy
really
it so
is.
much. I mean, it truly translates into the beautiful products that you produce. And the way that you do it is so casual, but so friendly at the same time, yet so professional. I mean, as you said, it makes sense what you said earlier, right? You are a bridesmaid, basically, like an extension of a bridesmaid. I love that so much.
Thank you.
So obviously things sometimes don't go as planned at weddings. Lines may be totally screwed if somebody was late, and you're a type A. Like you,
I am.
Yeah. So how do you handle that, and what type of moments do you want to make sure that you're not missing?
I think one of the biggest time like mistakes that you can make is not leaving enough breathing room. One for the vendors, but also more importantly, the couples. A lot of times it's just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And there's no little moments in there for them to just breathe and take it in.
Yeah.
And wedding day stuff happens. So I always like to schedule a little breathing room just in case something happens. We're not falling behind. We're actually still on schedule. And I think also a factor is daylight savings time, because especially if the couple's not doing a first look and maybe they have in their head a romantic, dreamy sunset ceremony. If the sun is setting so much earlier, and if we didn't do a first look, we still have family photos, bridal party, and husband wife to get to.
Yeah.
But if they have that sunset ceremony, it's going to be dark for all of that. So I do try to educate my clients pretty much as soon as they book me. I build out a custom timeline based on that sunset on their wedding day. That way we ensure that we have enough light to cover everything, and we're also not rushed on wedding day.
Yeah, I love that. I actually saw, I think it was January, a wedding where it wasn't supposed to snow and it snowed.
Yes.
But it made the most incredible photos. And I know Dallas shut down. So I bet a lot of people canceled. So walk me through what happened that day from your perspective, and also the couples, because I can only imagine they were really stressed out.
Yes, for sure. That couple, oh my goodness, Kelly and Marcus, they were amazing. They are team players, and they were struggling. Do we reschedule? Do we not? So many guests couldn't make it because they were from Midland and it was too icy. But all of her vendors were on board, and we're like, let's get you married today. Let's just do it. And thankfully, everyone there, like bridal party, she was like, I trust you. And I was like, okay, we're going outside and it's 17 degrees. Are you okay with that? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. And it turned out amazing. And I also told her, I was like, look, so many brides plan a winter wedding. They don't get this.
Yeah.
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We have snow, sleet, but
Yeah.
it's white and it's pretty.
Yes. Oh my God, it looked incredible in the photos.
It was gorgeous, and it turned out absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So I think the videographer on that wedding was Daniel K.
Yes.
So
Love
that was
Daniel.
that. Yes. Me too.
Yes.
So he's actually going to come tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But he was on the podcast actually. Was that a Saturday?
Yes, I saw
Sunday?
it. Friday or
Okay,
something.
so it was like that the weekend before, and he was supposed to film with me on Monday, and we ended up canceling
Oh
it
my
because he
goodness.
couldn't drive in.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the fact that every single vendor showed up for that couple,
Yes.
again, a testament of how professional you guys are and your attitude, Hannah. Oh,
It was so fun. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, we are definitely gonna do some B-roll with photos of that wedding because they
Oh,
were
yes.
spectacular. I bet they were
Thank
super
you.
happy.
They were so happy, and we're actually really good friends now, me and the bride.
Aw.
Yeah. And it was just, she trusted us so much as her vendor team to take care of her. And Because I can only imagine like how she felt. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
anxious, she was nervous, she was scared, like all these things. And so part of my job is to calm me down and be like, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
And she just fully relaxed and fully
Yeah.
enjoyed her
Yeah.
wedding
And
day.
you can tell from the photos and the video that Daniel K produced, they looked like they were having a blast and
So
they were
much
so
fun.
confident. That's
Mhm.
amazing. I really want to talk to you about WIPA and Society Privé and all the networking events that you do. You were nominated also to win an award recently, and you were so kind to invite me to sit right next to you.
Mhm.
And again, I'm just so proud of everything that you're doing and how you show up for vendors like myself. Tell me more about why do you think networking is so important in this industry?
Yes. Networking is so important because there's limited time on wedding day. You know, as vendors, we are running around with our heads cut off almost, and there's just so much to do, so much to see, and then we go home and don't want to talk to anyone, right?
Yeah.
So going to all of these networking events, it's a good chance for us to get to know other vendors more on a professional level, but also on a personal level as well. And do they have kids? What's their home life like? Like, why did they get into what they are doing? And that only elevates us as vendors. No vendor can do a wedding on their own.
Right.
So it's building that relationship with them. And you build that trust too. And you also push each other creatively as well and
Yes.
push those boundaries.
Yeah.
That way you don't just stay on the same level as you are. You elevate.
Yeah.
And that only brings a better client experience.
Yeah. I love that. Well, you're so good at it, by the way.
Thank you. It gives me so much anxiety.
Really?
Yes.
You would never know.
Thank you.
Yeah. You seriously, you would never know. I also wanted to talk to you before we go. You have served people from all kinds of different budgets, right? People that don't have a very big budget and perhaps they have a very small wedding, and people that have really, really big budgets. What is one thing that people actually go back to, the common denominator?
I would say the common denominator is they remember how they felt on their wedding day, ultimately. And I think a big part of that as vendors is how are you serving your client and how are you showing up for your client? I just think it's so important. Ultimately, couples remember how they felt on wedding day, and clients will text or email me and they'll be like, oh my gosh, besides marrying my husband, you're the best decision I made.
love it.
But they're not just talking about the pretty photos. They're talking about the experience that they had, which is how they felt. And those moments and memories can never be recreated.
Right.
It's that one day and that's it. And I think that's why photography becomes more valuable over time, is because now they're not just photos. That's a part of their family history now.
Oh, yeah.
And their legacy that they're leaving for their kids.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I want to thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Yes, you're super talented, super kind. And I can only imagine having you as a wedding vendor. For those that are listening and that are picking their vendors, I really hope that you check out Hannah Way because she is absolutely incredible. Where can they find you and connect with you?
Yes, Instagram is Hannaway Photo and HannawayPhotography.com. Hannaway Photo on TikTok, Instagram, all the things.
Awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much.
I hope that you loved this episode as much as I did. I will see you next time.